Hey everyone, and welcome to the Smart Jeevan YouTube channel. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here today. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this explainer, and share it with a friend who might need a little spark of inspiration. Trust me, you're going to want to share this one. Today on Smart Jeevan, we're exploring something, well, profoundly beautiful. Honestly, it's potentially life-changing. We're diving deep into the brilliant concepts from Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being. Now, you probably know Rubin as this legendary 9-time Grammy-winning music producer, right? But his philosophy goes way, way beyond the recording studio. Today, we're going to unlock your creative anxieties. If you've ever felt totally stuck or intimidated by a blank page, or if you've caught yourself thinking, you know what, I'm just not a creative person, I want you to take a deep breath. We are going to completely dismantle those mental blocks together right now. So let's dive right into this.
I want to kick off this explainer with a quote that just hits the nail on the head. The object isn't to make art, it's to be in that wonderful state which makes art inevitable. Doesn't that just immediately take the pressure off? It lowers the stakes completely. So often, we get completely paralyzed by the end product. We obsess over making something quote-unquote good or important, and that pressure literally freezes us in our tracks. But Rubin, echoing this beautiful thought from Robert Henry, shifts our focus entirely. It's really not about the stress of the final product at all. It's about cultivating a highly specific state of mind. It's about being, not just doing. When you just focus on the pure joy of that creative state, the art, well, it just happens naturally.
Okay, moving right along to section 1, everyone is a creator.
So, this is a massive mental hurdle for a lot of us, so let's really break it down. As we can see with this minimalist circle, which represents the complete wholeness of the individual, we need to dismantle this pervasive myth. You know the one, that creativity is this magical, elusive superpower handed out to a special few at birth. No way. People who don't paint or play the guitar often shy away from calling themselves artists, but the source material makes it crystal clear. Creativity is absolutely not rare. Actually, it is a fundamental aspect of being human. It's our shared human birthright. Attuned choice by attuned choice, your entire life is literally a form of self-expression. The absolutely crucial point here is how we redefine the word creation. To create is simply to bring something into existence that wasn't there before. That's it. It doesn't have to be some grand masterpiece encased in glass at the Louvre or sold to the highest bidder at an auction. A creative act can be as simple as, say, finding a clever new route home just to avoid a traffic jam, or writing a heartfelt little note to a friend, or even just having a genuinely interesting conversation, or rearranging the furniture in your living room to make it feel cozier. Through your totally ordinary state of being, you are already creating your experience of reality. You are composing the world you perceive every single day. Let's shift gears to section 2, tuning into the universe, a cosmic rhythm.
Right, so now that we've established that you are already a creator, we need to zoom out a bit, like really zoom out. The universe itself is an eternal creative unfolding. Just think about it for a second. Trees blossom, cells replicate, rivers literally carve out new tributaries over time. The whole world pulses with this productive, restless energy. Rubin suggests something super interesting here. He says we aren't actually conducting the creative act, we are being conducted. Humanity creates works of art just as naturally as an apple tree grows apples. You're participating in this grand, sweeping rhythm that isn't set by you, but it flows right through you. And this leads to a really fascinating, almost magical kind of urgency. Ideas ripen on schedule. The text suggests that ideas, themes, and songs kind of just exist out there in the ether. When their time comes, they ripen, and they actively seek expression in our physical world. Have you ever had a completely brilliant idea, sat on it for a year, and then seen someone else launch the exact same thing? It's not because they stole it from you. It's simply because the idea's time had come. If you don't act on an idea that you're fired up about, it will just find its voice through another maker. So when inspiration strikes, you've got to respect that cosmic timetable.
All right, section 3, breaking the rules, challenge assumptions.
Let's dive into something that trips up almost every single creator out there: the rules. Okay, think about the laws of math and science for a second. These are absolutes, right? They describe precise, rigid relationships in the physical world that we can actually test and prove. But if you contrast that with the rules of art, well, they are entirely different beasts. They are really just assumptions. They're limitations that are practically begging to be tested. Rules in art generally direct us toward average behaviors. And as the book reminds us so perfectly, aiming for average is absolutely nothing to aspire to.
The goal isn't to fit into a mold. It's to amplify the differences, those special quirks completely unique to how you see the world. If a rule isn't helpful to you, just toss it out the window.
Now on to Section 4, Experimenters and Finishers, Overcoming the Dilemma.
This brings us to a very real, very practical internal struggle, actually getting a project across the finish line. I want you to ask yourself honestly, are you an experimenter? You see, the experimenter totally loves the initial spark. They lean heavily toward dreaming, playing, and starting a million new things. But they fall right into the experimenter's dilemma. They deeply struggle to complete the work, and they find it incredibly difficult to actually release it out into the wild. They just get paralyzed by the fear of criticism right when it's time to finish. If that sounds like you, hey, don't worry, because Rubin offers a fantastic, structured solution to get you totally unstuck.
He calls this technique the brutal edit, and it's a simple 3-step process. Step 1, create abundantly. Do not censor yourself here. Go ahead and record 20 songs or write 300 pages. Just get it all out of your head. Step 2, shrink it down to the absolute essence. So if you recorded 20 songs, don't just gently trim it to 10. Shrink it down to 5. Only the tracks you absolutely cannot live without. Cut those 300 pages down to a tight 100. And then step 3 is where the real magic happens. By ruthlessly stripping it down to its core, you disconnect from your emotional attachment to the making of it. You finally see the true underlying structure of the work for what it actually is. And let me tell you, that makes finishing it so much easier.
Okay, moving to Section 5, the myth of competition, a category of 1.
So once you've actually finished the work, a whole new danger creeps in, doesn't it? Comparing it to the success of others. But here's the thing, competition in art is completely absurd. Why? Because every artist's playing field is entirely specific to them. You are creating the work that best represents you. Meanwhile, another artist is creating the work that best represents them. It's literally an apples to oranges comparison. Because your art is a totally unique expression of your highly specific lens on the universe, your work cannot be accurately measured against anyone else's. Period. You are in a category of 1.
And finally, Section 6, redefining creative success, pure creative intent.
So if we aren't measuring ourselves against the competition, how on earth do we know if we've succeeded? Well, first, we have to recognize the ridiculously heavy burdens we place on our art. Things like the fear of criticism, an unhealthy attachment to commercial results, competing with your own past work, time and resource constraints, even the super noble aspiration of wanting to, change the world. All of these external expectations are just so heavy. They completely stifle greatness. Rubin suggests we redirect our inner voice instead. The only goal should be pure creative intent. Your mindset should just be, I want to make the best thing I can make, whatever it is, entirely free from all that external noise and expectation. And this brings us to a really powerful realization. Success isn't popularity. It definitely isn't money. And it isn't critical esteem either. When your objective is simply doing great work purely for its own sake, this amazing, infectious ripple effect occurs. True greatness just naturally raises the vibration of your entire life. It sets a brand new bar for everything else you do, and it radiates outward, inspiring all the people around you to do their best work too. It is an energy that goes way beyond anything you could ever put on a spreadsheet or measure.
So as we wrap up this explainer on the Smart Jeevan channel, I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative question. If success is simply your unique contribution to the universe, what will you create today? Remember, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It literally just has to be yours. A conversation, a home-cooked meal, a little doodle, or even just a brand new way of solving an annoying problem at work. Lower the stakes, tune into that cosmic rhythm we talked about, let go of those rigid rules, and just begin. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you're feeling unblocked, inspired, and totally ready to embrace your creative birthright. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Smart Jeevan, and I will see you next time.